Hi everyone, it's Brittany and today's video will be about dental school interview tips. I took to Instagram and asked you guys what are your specific questions that you'd like me to answer about dental school interviews. And by the way, if you're not following my Instagram, go ahead and follow it if you'd like. It's at Brittany Goes to Dental School. So the first question is from melbar_96 and she asked, what would you suggest we wear and how would you go about answering the whole tell me about yourself question? As a young woman, I was very confused when I was going to dental school interviews about what I should wear. What I ended up wearing is I wore this like flowy blouse and it was long sleeved. It doesn't have to be long sleeved. If you like short sleeve, that's cool too. And I went ahead and wore a black blazer with black pants. So it's kind of like a matching like woman's suit, you know? For guys, I suggest that you don't have to wear a suit, but I personally think that looks better and more professional. As for hair, wear something that makes you feel comfortable and confident. For example, I usually don't really like to tie up my hair. Not that I feel like embarrassed about having my hair up, but I just feel my best and more presentable with my hair down. But if you tend to like twirl your hair when you're nervous, go ahead and tie up your hair. Whatever it is, make sure that it is clean, straightened or curled, whatever that just makes you look like you brushed your hair. For guys, make sure to get a haircut. Please, please, please get a haircut. Please. It makes you just look so much more put together and really professional. For the second part of this question, which is how do you answer the tell me about yourself question, some people think that this question when the interviewer asks you is the time to launch into why you want to do dentistry, what makes you qualified, blah blah blah. But here's the thing, interviewers know why you're definitely interested in dental school. They have your information there on the table with you and they would have known, like, kind of had an idea about what your extracurriculars were and everything. I like to take the time to tell the interviewer a little bit more about myself that's not on paper. I'd start with my name, where I grew up, what I studied in university, my hobbies, anything that kind of makes you seem like a real person. You look good on paper. That's why they invited you for an interview. The reason why you got an interview is because you have the grades, you have the DAT scores. They just want to see what makes you human, what makes you likable. Okay, so this next question has a couple questions too. And this is from Okia Esma. Why dentistry? What attributes do you possess that you think will make you a good dentistry student, your strong points and weaknesses? Okay, so that's a lot. So why dentistry? Everyone kind of goes into dentistry for similar reasons, whether it be the lifestyle, they're good with their hands, they went on a mission trip, they shadowed a dentist, they had some personal like teeth problem that they overcame. It doesn't matter what your story is as long as it is truly yours and you speak from your heart about why you want to be a dentist. There is no magical answer that will get you interviewers to be shocked or anything like that. They've heard it all. It's mostly if it comes from the heart and really more about your personal answer, nobody else's. Your strong points and weaknesses. So here's a little trick. When you're talking about your strengths, obviously talk about your strengths. When they ask you about your weaknesses, find a weakness that can be turned into a strength. For example, a lot of people or some people might say that a weakness of theirs is taking too much on their plate and doing a lot of things. Now, is that really like a weakness? Yeah, it could be. That's what you need to paint it as. You don't want to tell them your true weakness like, oh, I'm lazy, I have no motivation. Pick a weakness that you can twist into something that could be a strength. For example, the weakness that I chose to talk about was that when you first get to know me, I'm not the best at speaking or I'm more on the quiet side. But on the flip side, how I made that into a strength was I said, I am a very good listener. If I have a patient or a friend that needs me to listen to them, I will listen to their every need and make sure that that gets fulfilled. And you always want to mention that you are working on this weakness that you have and what you're doing to help overcome it. The next question is from Sophia_Salazar 24 And she says, I've talked to some people saying they've got both private interviews and group interviews. What's your experience on this? I feel group ones would be more difficult and nerve-wracking as you're trying to stand out. Okay, so I personally did not go to a dental school interview where I had a group interview, but I did have interviews for jobs which required group interviews. And a lot of people think that during a group interview, whoever talks the loudest, whoever talks the most, whoever's the most aggressive is the one that gets noticed. Yeah, they do get noticed, but probably in a bad way. Because somebody is talking really loudly doesn't mean that they have the most important thing to say. If you're more on the quiet side, definitely speak up, but say something of value. Say something. You can stand out by saying something of value. You might not have the loudest voice, you might not talk the most, but if you say something of value, people will listen and people will remember you. Another thing is to include everybody in the conversation. If you guys are sitting in a circle, talk to your neighbor like, hey, so-and-so, what do you think about this? Also include the quiet people too. And make sure that you hear other people's opinions and you can add to that to show that you're listening, and you gotta play this game right. Usually schools with group interviews are schools that value group interaction. It's not who has to be the leader, but how the group works together as a team. So this next question is from Ellen.gig, and she asks, what are your strong points that you think makes you qualified to be a dentist? Besides the obvious, like, I'm good with my hands thing, most of us aren't really that good with our hands. So what do we say about being a great dentist? You can talk about how you have great communication skills, you have persistence, you don't give up, and trust me, if you've been watching my vlogs, my dental school vlogs, realize that, wow, dental school is really hard and it's not for everybody. You've got to be able to be strong, keep going, and never give up. So you could really highlight those kinds of qualities. So that's it for the Q&A portion of the video. Now I'm going to be talking about some miscellaneous tips that I think are very important for you guys to know. First one is look up what makes this dental school special. A great tip is to go to their website and spend a little bit of time checking it out. What are the things they brag about? Is it research? Is it like mission trips, clinical experience? Also look up the recent news that has been happening with their university, and check out like any new progresses and research they've made, any important people, important alumni. All these things can be used for you to have small talk with their interviewer. Next tip I found was very helpful, and it is to stall. So if you probably haven't noticed, a lot of times interviews are old guys, old men that really like to talk. And one tactic that I learned is while they are talking, let's say you ask them a question and then they start talking, explaining, bragging about their school. While they're talking, think about the next question that you have. And yeah, half listen to what they are going to say, but then again, take that time while they are talking to save some time and take some time to think about the next question that you want to ask. The best tip that I have is to be confident. I struggle with this a lot. I'd get very nervous before a dental interview, but just think about it this way. You're already halfway there. Like I said before, the university or the school, the dental school knows your stats. They know that you're a good student. This is the time to show that you're a great person, you're an awesome person. Not necessarily you have to stand out. I think people misjudge the interview into thinking that you have to stand out, like doing some amazing research. You could just stand out by being very polite, smile a lot, and be very engaging, know a lot of recent events that's happened in the university, genuinely interested in that dental school. And you should be, because why else would you bother to apply there? And the last tip for those of you who might not be applying this cycle is that if you're shy, please get some practice right now. Like, start talking to your Starbucks barista, and this way you could improve your small talk and be more comfortable just speaking with people. I have a whole video about improving communication skills up on my channel, so if you want to check that out, you can do that as well. So hopefully this video has kind of helped you in a way. The main thing that I want to instill is that you have to learn how to get your own voice. I could just have this video and just tell you all the things that you should say to get into dental school, and that's certainly not the case. I want you to be inspired, to be proud of who you are, proud of all your accomplishments, and proud of what makes you special instead of copying somebody else's answers. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any additional interview questions, please go ahead and comment them down below. I didn't want to make a super long video. But yeah, comment them down below or DM me on Instagram and I'll be glad to answer them. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!